other day I was in Kisumu, and I could not help not seeing the excitement about a Raila-Ruto alliance. It was everywhere in the air. I found it rather unsettling. Why? It's something that I don't quite understand. Many people have also asked me. For sure, there's something I know. That Uhuru, being the man heading the intelligence in this country and receiving intelligence reports, not just from NIS, but from many other quarters, Uhuru is unlikely to betray Raila in that manner, because the consequences will not be very beautiful. So in my own thinking, I tried to explain this in terms of ODM. First, the ODM brigade is usually overexcited. Secondly, and particularly in connection with this, they are reading everything in terms of 2022. So that if Uhuru is seen with Gideon, with Mudavadi, or seen to be helping Kalonzo Musyoka with a by-election, or Matungu, Kabuchai, Deep State, or provincial administration, they see this as Uhuru deserting Raila. And that is in terms of 2022. So my advice to ODM people, please, if you do not understand the deal between Uhuru and Raila, give Raila time to see this thing through. Wait until Raila gives you the signal. I very much doubt that the things these people, even close people like Orengo sometimes, I don't think they are acting from what Raila would have told them. I think they are reading the situation themselves. And so long as you look at everything in terms of 2022, you will always get it wrong. You will always feel betrayed. So I don't think Uhuru Kenyatta can set out to betray Raila. It is possible, but it's quite unlikely. And therefore, as I was driving back to Nairobi, trying to beat the Uhuru lockdown, by the way, people are asking whether Uhuru did the right thing. I think that the answer is very simple. Uhuru does not sit in his room and then make that decision. He acts on the advice of science. So if health experts do the simulations and tell him, this would be the consequences if you didn't do this, and this would happen, this so many deaths, so much in terms of hospitalization, he acts on the basis of that advice. So let's not fault him. We know there are going to be pain. There's going to be pain and suffering. But also understand that Uhuru is acting on the basis of expert advice. So as I was trying to rush, and by the way, I got into the jam and everybody was rushing back to Nairobi, and got to Nairobi about midnight, I understood what was going on to be arising out of the One Kenya Alliance. Now, the One Kenya Alliance in my thinking, and this comes back to the betrayal, I don't think anybody within the system can be naive enough, first, to think betraying Raila is a walk in the park. Because Raila functions best under crisis. So ukichokora Raila and you create a crisis for him, then the man emerges. He's a man who works under crisis, under tension. He will come up with surprises. He's a man who can cobble a wonderful and working coalition. Nobody expected CORD in 2013. Nobody expected NASA in 2017. That's Raila for you. So I don't think it's a question of betraying Raila. Neither do I think Uhuru Kenyatta or the deep state or the system, whoever you think is responsible, I don't think those people would be naive enough to imagine that 2022, any of these guys they are calling themselves Secret Coalition, One Kenya Coalition, people have called them Serela Coalition, Niondoke Coalition, Niachie Coalition, Endorse Me Coalition. I've given all manner of names. It's not even fair to them. These are very good people. Gideon is a good man. Mudavadi is my neighbor and a good man. Kalonzo, good gentleman. Wetangula, Wetab, beautiful guys. So don't use bad names on them. But tell them the truth, which I keep telling them. And that's why I doubt the system would fail to see this. None of these guys would beat William Ruto. I said he will have them for breakfast. None of them. They don't have it. And I also got thinking, supposing Ruto were to team with Raila, which is quite unlikely, but you can imagine the energy that Ruto and Raila will bring into the campaign. Who in this Cerelac team, if you call it Cerelac, I'm sorry to call them, let's just say call them the Amani coalition, the One Kenya coalition. Who in this coalition can face the combined energy of Raila Odinga and William Ruto? They would not. So I doubt really, even if Raila kept out of this thing, for 2022, none of these guys can beat. And I was also in the village in Western Kenya. Everybody is excited about Mudavadi being the president. And they are giving all manner of reasons and painting pictures. I also suspect the same is happening in Ukambani. And the same is in Baringo and Rift Valley. Everybody thinks that Gideon will get. I am asking those I was having a cup of tea somewhere and somebody told me, Manyora, you are a very bad man. You don't want us to get this thing. I say, if you are saying Ruto was dealt a blow by Uhuru because Uhuru was using Raila, and therefore Raila's job is done, and that's why after Ruto has been neutralized, Uhuru is settling on Mudavadi. So I asked these gentlemen, who by the way bought me the cup of tea, I asked them, gentlemen, if Raila can betray, if Uhuru can betray Raila, what makes you think he will not betray Mudavadi? What makes you think? What makes you think he will not then, after betraying Ruto, betraying Raila, what makes you think he won't betray Mudavadi in favor of Gideon? And by the way, if you ask me, that coalition is all about Gideon Moi. And if the intelligence and the deep state and the system and the Uhuru are intelligent people, and I'm going to do an open letter to Uhuru Kenyatta next week or thereabouts to talk about this thing exhaustively and offer my free advice. If Uhuru intends to make Gideon president, and I've said repeatedly, he will need to give this thing to a caretaker man like Raila Odinga. And in 2027, he will become the president. Easy. So where is the Mudavadi in that picture? It is not about 2022. I suspect what Uhuru is doing is building these regional coalitions and blocks, strengthening Joho, Kingi, removing the differences between Joho and Kingi and the rest, building the coalition in Western, strengthening Mudavadi and Wetangula, bringing in, I'm sure even this man, Kisa Gitu will be roped in, get small boys, small fellows, Kenadid Masbaraza, get inside, so that you lock Ruto out of that region. And it's for the purpose of BBI. I still believe strongly that Uhuru is about BBI. And therefore, this strengthening regional kingpins is to lock anti-BBI people from those regions. 2022 may come later. So I advise people to read it that way, that Uhuru is strengthening these regional kingpins for the purpose of BBI and not 2022. BBI is special to Raila. BBI is special to Ruto. And for that reason, to Uhuru. Uhuru is not leaving anything to chance. He's trying to ensure that should Ruto at the last moment, like I said, decide to jump into this BBI thing and oppose it, he will find a firewall. So Uhuru is basically building a firewall in each region to make sure that BBI is safe, it goes through, can face any onslaught from Ruto and his people if they decided to oppose it at the last moment. So that's what he's doing, not about 2022. So back to ODM Brigade, leave it. Back to the One Kenya coalition. Understand Uhuru's intention to be about BBI and not about making you president. Because you are gonna disappoint your followers when in that One Kenya coalition, none of you then is supported for the presidency. Or when within that coalition, it is Gideon and not you, Mudavadi. What will you tell your people? I'm only preparing you. Talk about BBI, strengthen yourself in terms of BBI. Let 2022 come after BBI. In any case, whoever intends to keep this thing a secret will not succeed. After BBI, things will be clear. Uhuru and Raila and anybody else will come out clearly, because there's not much time left after BBI. So hold your horses. Don't overexcite your people. Don't create all manner of reasons. Oh, you saw Uhuru did this. He was in my house after the burial of this and this. He did this. He has unleashed this. Oh, I have more security now. Those things could be deceiving to you. And don't lie to your followers, whether you are Gideon, whether you are Kalonzo, Wetangula, or Mudavadi. Just concentrate on BBI. I have said this. In any case, if you look at the way politics is going in this country today, you will agree with me that Raila is a man that holds everything. The people in this coalition calling themselves One Kenya coalition, almost all of you except Gideon, your political oxygen is Raila. Without Raila, and I've reminded you many times, I've even told Musalia Mudavadi, if I were you, Musalia Mudavadi, I would never say anything bad against Raila, because I can see my future coming from my relationship with my neighbors, and particularly with Raila. Never say anything bad about him. So what I'm saying is, 2022 is possible for any of you, except for all of you it will be a mirage, unless we are talking about 22. Your political oxygen. And if you want to understand this, look at Total Man. The Total Man was called Nicholas Kipyatol Biwott. God rest his soul. We all thought he was so powerful. But we didn't know his political oxygen was Daniel Arap Moi. After Moi, he tried, even winning a seat, forming a party, grabbing Kanu from Uhuru. Nothing. He couldn't. He became a useless man. Not useless really in that sense. Politically speaking, he became a nobody, because his political oxygen had been switched off. And for you people in that coalition of yours, for now, the political oxygen of Gideon Moi is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. The political oxygen of these others is Raila Amolo Odinga. I advise you, therefore, concentrate on BBI, benefit from the support you are getting from Uhuru and the state, but not get overexcited about being president in 2022. Being president in 2022 is not a joke. It's not like a beehive. The presidency is not a beehive where bees go in and out. The presidency is a serious thing. How prepared are you to mount up a campaign? How prepared are you to face William Ruto? Being supported by the state or the president is one thing. Being able to hold your own in that campaign is an entirely different thing. I don't see any of you doing it. Prepare yourself for 2022. But in the meantime, concentrate on BBI.